I'm giving somebody the blues today.
Today we're going to talk about a very serious topic that's plaguing Tekken 8. In this video we'll be discussing elements of racism that's currently going on in Tekken 8. So if you do not want to watch, I completely understand. Check out some of the other videos I have on the channel discussing other elements of Tekken 8. There's a lot of things that's currently happening. If you guys have been on social media, whether it be Twitter, Reddit, or whatever, you may have noticed this Panda player making its rounds in the community. Currently, right now at the time of recording, not only is there a handful of pluggers at the top ranks, right? Harada already said he's going to address that, but there's one person in particular who players are also taking notice to. A Panda main, and their name is I Hate, and it's a crazy slur. The hard R. This is absolutely wild. It's wild in the wildest form. You have posts on the Tekken subreddit also identifying this person. You have posts on Twitter identifying this person. People are tagging Harada, tagging Tekken, tagging everything, saying please ban this person, address it immediately is what players are saying. The issue with a situation like this where you have someone at the top of the ranks with such a crazy name is in that person getting a lot of publicity. A lot of people are talking about it. That inspires more people to do it. You may have one person who's really racist, but then you have trolls who emulate that and who copy that. Hence, another person here. This one, all they did was change the I to a L. This is something that's kind of pops up in time to time in the online gaming world. Some companies don't do enough in terms of moderating what names you can do, and then some companies go overboard. There's many examples of past games, but for Tekken, this is massive. It cannot be allowed. One common misconception that I do want to clear up, there are people who saying that this is only something that can be done on PC. As you can see here, this person is a PlayStation. This is not something that just is exclusive to PC. This is something that's easily doable no matter what console. Now, one thing that I'm still a little bit dodgy about, and maybe someone in the comments can clear it up, some people are saying that this is not in fact Tekken's fault, that it's more so something that can be manipulated in Steam and PlayStation and Xbox. And even if that is the case, my response to that would be, it doesn't matter. In most other games, you don't see people with names like this, so whatever those games do, Tekken needs to emulate it and emulate it fast. I was playing a live stream, as I always do, challenging random subscribers, whoever wants to play. About 2 hours or so into the live stream, there was a Jack main who showed up. First off, the customization of this character is wild. We'll talk about this in just a second because it definitely plays a role into all of this, but the name that they had is what really caught me off guard because the outfit is something that I've seen before. I've seen people doing it on Forza's stream. I've seen people doing it on Reddit. I already seen it, but the name, this was the first time I seen this. And I could not believe it. I was stun-locked by the sudden juxtapose of the whole situation.
Whoa! You see this person's name? Hey, yo, who is this? Bro, look at this person's name!
I simply shared my experience on Twitter. That tweet kind of popped off. A lot of people were tagging Harada in the response saying you need to do something about this immediately. I also seen a lot of people saying that I can't choose such and such as a name, meanwhile you have people using slurs. There's a lot of different ideas and things being discussed in the comment section of this post, and it kind of just highlights the necessity that the developers act fast. Now, I do think this will be addressed eventually, but what's also important that I really want to highlight as well is the uniform that this Jack player is cosplaying. Once again, like I said, it happened in Forza's stream. This is something that players are really having fun with. And it reminded me of a issue that occurred in Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Harada discussed this very thing when marketing Tekken 7. Back on September 14th, 2027, he was just talking about the massive hurdles that Tekken needs to overcome. He was asked about customization because that's something that players care about when every game is being marketed. And his response to it was pretty interesting, and I think it's also relevant to what's occurring now. The news article is, between a Rock and a Harada place, the massive Tekken interview. There were some great things talked about in here. I broke down this interview in the past. The part in here where he talks about customization and basically how it could get them into trouble, like them as a company, Bandai Namco. Because you see the posts, you see the tweets, you see all that stuff, and it's just people being angry, it's people being like upset. Like it's more so, I don't want to say it's memes because it's not memes, but it spreads throughout like memes. People emulate it and copy it like memes, troll like memes, but it goes deeper than that. Harada says, "We're quite happy that people are enjoying the elements as it was quite difficult to achieve this. For customization elements, there were a lot of problems to overcome to get to this point. It's not as simple as many seem. Even if you acknowledge that a person's perception might be quite different depending on their race or their country of origin, and you try to address any and all critiques while trying to not infringe on others' IPs, you end up with very run-of-the-mill items or something that is unique and strange but not familiar to everyone." And basically what he's talking about there is like when you're deciding what customization item or clothing to put in the game, you got to take in many factors. You don't want to offend anyone or upset anyone, but at the same time, you want to give players something interesting that they can use and mold their character in the way that they desire. It's really a balancing act. He continues, "Depending on the costume or items presented, it might turn out to be something that has historical meaning or is offending some country. There are quite a few cases in which we have deleted. This is important because what players are doing right now with these outfits, it's important. There are some cases which we have deleted customization items for this very reason. Face paint is another item that adds a lot of freedom for creativity, but we had to delete some of these as well before release. In Japan, face paint is used quite often as festival cultures, but we were told some of these were highly likely to be offensive in some countries, and we had to give up on these items." There's another screenshot here. You guys could read the whole entire paragraph, but you see where it goes. People using, I think it's like a bamboo, and you turn the bamboo black and then you turn it sideways because you can move the orientation of the item. And then also people are like turning, it's some, I don't know what they're using, but it's something that you turn red. It's on the player's wrist and then you move it up to the arm. These items that players are like manipulating to get this effect of a uniform like this, it's probably going to result in that item being deleted in the game or restricted in a way that basically changes it so drastically. This is something that happened in the past games, and in the past the developer's response was to nuke it completely, because if it goes on for far too long, it can cause massive problems, massive. And if you have to choose between the two, you're obviously going to nuke the little bamboo customization instead of dealing with all the chaos. You're obviously going to ban all of these cheaters once they figure out, because Harada already said, we're working on a way to get rid of all of the pluggers at the top ranks. This person pretty much, I don't know if they do plug, but with a name like this, you're definitely on that list as well. So that time will come for the names and all of the slurs being used as names, but for the customization, that is going to hit players extremely hard, because there's already this discussion about how customization isn't enough. You have 2 games now where it's being used in a way that the developers do not like and did not intend.